Wallachia. What a strange little town. I don't like towns. There's always more going on than one sees. Always this one or that one trying to be important. And now we've got ourselves a meeting with yet another Burgomaster. I wonder what he did right, that Ismark's late father did wrong. This place seems a lot more successful than Barovia, and a lot more fortified. Still, there's something very wrong here. It makes my skin crawl. What are these festivals? Festivals? Enjoy the festival, said the devil. Not sure I want to if he's the one telling us to do it. I can't wait to be on the road again. This is Red Moon role-playing.
You are led through the night, guarded now by these soldiers, these armed men with their leather jackets and sharp spears. You are led through the streets of the town. The hour is very late now, light low. Despite appearances from earlier, even this place feels a little morose now. Darkness has truly fallen, the sky is still pitch black above you, and all the lights coming from the houses as you pass seem almost like little candle lights in an empty space of nothingness. Eyes are watching you as you pass by. People can be heard moving about in the alleyways. Birds overhead. Ravens? Ravens, yes. Multiple ravens in this place. Ismark and Irina are hanging around the back of this procession, looking a little concerned, but not too worried. Your guide, Izek Strasny, every now and again looks back. He doesn't seem to pay any attention to you, Roshek, or even you, Roman. It's only Irina. He glances out for just a moment before leading you on. What are you doing?
Part of me thinks that meeting this Baron will be, well, an opportunity. Perhaps he can tell us more about potential way out of here. Well, that's at least what I'm hoping for, although I have a little bit of a bad feeling about this. I really don't like the way that he's looking at her. We have to be on guard here, I think to myself.
I keep walking up the streets and I look around, but I'm kind of losing my interest in this town. It's nice to be in a place with a bit more light, but I'm kind of caught up in the sentiment that we're in this sort of doll's house directed by this devil who just makes things that he wants happen. I can't see how some self-proclaimed baron or whatever he is supposed to be of any sort of significant power in here.
You move on through the streets, eventually coming to what looks like a large mansion. This mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. As you look up, Roshek, could you roll me a perception check?
17.
You look up at this building, noting its first floor, the floor above that, and then an attic window. Yes, at the very top of this building there's like a little... Well, there are two little circular windows. And you see a flash of light. It's very quick, very brief. Purple. A purple light. You look around at the others and notice no one else seems to have even been paying attention. You look again, and there is darkness behind those windows now.
I stop a bit, just reacting briefly. And as you say, as I look at the others and see no reaction, I keep moving, and I think to myself that was interesting. I wonder how the house looks on the inside.
You move up to these double doors leading into the mansion. Izek moves forward and shoves them open. You begin to enter this mansion house.
Yes, here we are.
You enter into what seems to be a reception area. Looking around, you notice framed portraits adorning the walls of this grand foyer, which features a wide staircase with a sculpted railing. A long, carpeted hall attached to this foyer stretches almost the length of the mansion and has several doors leading away from it, including one at the far end. You notice, all around you, bundles of twigs are heaped against the walls. Piles of them all over the place, as if they're being collected for something. Izek leads you in, and the guards take positions at the doors. He looks to you. Wait here a moment. And he walks down this hallway, moving towards one of the doors, leading off. Guards look at you, taking positions by the doors. 2 or 3 of them do not seem very interested in you anymore. One looks at you with a little interest. He seems to be wearing a little red scarf, which seems a little out of place with the other guards who don't have much colour at all in their uniforms.
Waiting here, I think about... Are we both unarmed here? Our weapons are back at the tavern, or did we bring those with us?
I brought my shield and sword. I even took care to remove the shield from the weapon rack.
Yes. Then I would have brought mine as well, if they did not prevent us from bringing our weapons, and...
No, they have not disarmed you.
Interesting, I think to myself. But then again, there's quite a few of them.
I gesture towards the twigs and say, looks like they're building a raven's nest of their own.
I laugh a little.
Ismark shrugs. He doesn't know what's going on. Irina is just looking around, a distant expression on her face again as she fidgets with that scarf of hers.
I wonder if it's got something to do with the festival. It looks like kindling.
The guard with the red scarf chortles a little at this. You think the kindling is for the festival where we are going to light fires. Very clever.
Isn't that right then?
Yeah.
What are you going to light the fires for? What are you celebrating?
Who knows, eh? Who knows? And one of the other guards immediately shoots a stern look at this guard with the scarf. He falls silent. They all fall silent.
Huh. That's a pity, I think to myself. I started to like this conversation.
Yes, no, he looks a bit sheepish now, the guard who was speaking to you. The other 3 or 4 sternly look at you, expressions almost blank, uncaring. You wait a while, hearing some conversation from far off. For a moment, you think you hear the sound of a woman's laughter from somewhere, perhaps behind one of these doors. Eventually, Izek returns. You, priest. You, beastman. And you too, you come, follow me now, yes? You follow me.
I smile a bit. I'm starting to become mildly entertained by being called beast and beastman. It's like they've never seen one of my kind before.
Very true indeed.
I nod and I follow as well. I can't help but wonder about Irina and about are fidgeting with that scarf. Have I ever seen what is underneath it? What it is that she's scratching at?
You haven't?
Am I... Oh, certainly I'm close enough to talk to her, yes? I ask her, Irina, are you okay? I know some medicine, if there's anything that I can help you with the neck. You seem to be bothered by something there.
She frowns and then shakes her head. No, it's nothing. I just wear the scarf for the cold. I catch chills easily. Please, it's nothing.
I make a grunting, snorting laughter, and I stifle it with my hand. It's like, you sure you don't have a secret lover you're trying to keep secret? And I glance at her brother.
Irina does not seem amused by this joke, and Ismark shoots you a look of confusion, almost as if saying with his eyes, Really? Really?
Is she lying about the scarf? Can I roll for insight and see if I can figure something out from that?
Yes, you can.
Ah, but look at that, only a 9.
She did seem hesitant for a moment, but maybe she just does have a chill. It's hard to tell, really. Your attention's also a little diverted because as while you're thinking of this, the man known as Izek is already motioning you forward quickly. Come!
Yes, of course, I say, and I follow him.
He leads you down the corridor I mentioned, through one of the doors on the right-hand side. This room seems to be some sort of den. Padded chairs and couches lie on the walls of this cozy carpeted area. The room reeks of pipe smoke, and mounted on the east wall is the head of an angry-looking brown bear. Its current expression is one of a snarl, obviously killed at a very angry moment. You shall wait here. The Baron will be here soon, Izek remarks, and starts to leave the room. As he does, you notice, Roman, another lingering stare at Irina. Every time he looks at her, his eyes seem to change, going from black holes of nothingness to almost having something there, some flicker of humanity, perhaps. He leaves the room, and you are alone. Ismark moves to sit down in a chair. Irina does as well. Ugh, Ismark remarks. I hope we can get this done with quickly. Now I am Burgomaster of Barovia. Maybe he will offer us some respect, but we haven't heard word from the Burgomaster of this place for as many years. Never offered to help out Barovia, that's for sure.
I go over to the bear face, was it, mounted on the wall, and Is it high up? Can I reach it?
You could just about reach it.
I feel its teeth, and I remark, it's funny this, isn't it? How people, they want to pretend that they're ferocious, and then they make rooms like these with comfy chairs, and it's just the absurd combination of it all.
Indeed, you feel the bear's fangs. This was an impressive beast when it lived. But yes, what an interesting observation you make. And almost on cue, as you say that, a man enters the room. He is an older gentleman, 40s, 50s, balding slightly, decked out in a full breastplate with a rapier at his side. He has a thick, greasy beard, only half kempt and shaven. Ah! Travelers, welcome. Welcome to my home. I am the Burgomaster of Wallachia, Vargas Valakovich. It is a pleasure to meet travelers. Welcome to my house. Ah! He notices you, Roche. You are admiring my hunt, yes. Yes, oh, I was a younger man then, but I killed this one single-handedly, I did, with my bare hands. oh, not anymore now, but back in the day, oh, yes, I hunt creatures, yes, I could.
With your bare hands, you say?
Yes!
Is that a joke?
The man pauses for a moment, his eyes narrowing on you. All expression and joviality gone for a second. He then smiles. Ah, you joke. Yes, you joke with me. Good one. Good one, yes. No, I should have expected as much from an orc. Yes, do not think all in Wallachia are ignorant. No, my friend, I have read of your kind, an orc, yes, a fearsome warriors, yes. Good to finally meet one.
I laugh with him as he laughs because this is funny. This man is actually sort of funny.
Yes, Baron Valakovich. My name is Dawnbringer Roman Anchor. I'm a priest of Lathander, of the Morning Lord.
Yes, the Morning Lord, yes, although high of you to speak a name such as that. But who am I to know of you foreign priests in your far-off lands? Yes, I'm well aware that you are travelers from afar. We are not all ignorant here, you know. I know of these things beyond the mists. I am sorry that you have come here, but, well, now you are here, we will have to make the best of it, yes. After all, positivity is vital. All is well here in Wallachia. You will be safe here. All is well. He moves to help himself to a little glass of brandy on a nearby table. You also notice that Izek is now hanging around the door outside. He hasn't come in, but he's just waiting outside.
Yes, as long as there is light, there is hope. And there certainly seems to be light here. I see that you are about to celebrate the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Tell me more about this.
Ah, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Well, it is a new tradition, you see. I have come up with it just this week. The Festival of the Wolf Heads, or... He pauses for a moment as if not actually able to recall what the festival was. The last festival, whatever it was. It was good, but I did not maybe bring out the spirit of the people. This festival will be the greatest one we have had all year, and that is not even counting the autumn festival, the harvest festival, the festival of the morning, the festival of the evening, and my personal favourite, the wine festival. That was a good festival. Yes, it was.
It certainly sounds as if it would be that. We are here with Ismark Burgovich, who is the Burgomaster of Barovia, and his sister, Irina. We have come here seeking shelter from, well, from you know who, I think. We had hoped that Wallachia would be a safe haven for us. Would that be a correct assumption on our side?
He nods and smiles. His teeth seem a little rotten at places as he does this. He looks to Ismark. Yes, Burgomaster of Barovia. I assume that means your father must be gone now. My condolences. He was a good man when I last saw him. A good man, yes. No, we would be honored to assist thee in thy cause. He looks then towards Irina. And you seek sanctuary here. Sanctuary from what? And Ismark remarks, I wish for my sister to find some sanctuary in your church. It is so she will be perhaps here a little safer than in Barovia, if you gather my meaning. And Vargas nods. Of course. Sanctuary will be provided. Wallachia will protect you and your traveling friends. After all is well here in Wallachia. Of course, there will be the matter of payment.
Of course. Nothing is free in this world. We must ensure that we deserve the rewards that we get. So tell me, dear Baron Valakovich, how can we ensure that we deserve this protection that you so kindly have offered?
I like you, priest. I like you. You see, Ismark, you see? He says outside. Here is a man who understands how the world works. This is a man who is clever. None of this balking at duty. He asks what he can do for me, and I shall respond. He scratches his beard then. So there are a few things. Firstly, I would be honored if the both of you would speak at the upcoming festival. You will be able to show the people the glory, not only of the festival, But as travelers, you will be able to prove once again that our town, the safest town in all of Barovia, much better than Krezek, and of course, well, Barovia. They've never been very lucky, have they, Ismark? Ismark doesn't seem to find that at all amusing, but this man laughs quite jovially.
So what do you say to that as the first term? The festival is in 3 days' time. You shall come onto the stage. You shall speak about the power of thinking positively. You shall speak of the power of the light. These are the sort of things that people need to hear to get them through these dark times, no matter what the malcontents might say.
Yes, I would be happy to speak before the people, to speak of the light, speak of hope, and to speak of the beauty of this safe haven in this sea of darkness that we happen to find ourselves in. Certainly.
I presume it would be too much to ask for a more hands-on kind of position. I lean against the wall and I pat my longsword once again.
Yes, of course, that was only the first thing. After all, I would expect you to do that anyway for being guests in my town. But for your friend, the sanctuary, yes, it is perhaps a little bit of an imposition. After all, we need to look after our own here. But you help us, we help you. Perhaps you have heard in town of the wine shortages lately.
I nod.
We did hear about that at the tavern, certainly quite dire predicament, yes?
A few weeks ago, one of the last wine shipments from the Wizard of Wine's winery had been attacked. The wine was spoiled, there was barely anything. 2 days ago, the latest carriage did not even arrive. This is troubling. Wine is needed, especially for the festival. Why, without wine in Barovia, what do we have? Little. I would like you to assist the tavern innkeepers. They are linked to the winery, the Martkov family. They are a good family, a little conscientious at times. Sometimes one doubts that they truly are interested in the town and its well-being. But I give them the benefit of the doubt because they serve me. That's all I care about. So yes, you shall go and assist them. Find out what's making them happen. Get rid of it. Should be easy enough for adventurers like yourself.
Well, always nice to go out of the town for a bit, I suppose, and see what we can do, yeah?
If it may bring a smile to people's lips and perhaps bring some song and laughter into the world, yes, that will make this world a brighter place. It is something that would serve my god. I accept.
Do you have any idea who might be attacking such a thing as a winery? Do you have problems with bands of bandits and such?
Bandits? Bandits, the man says. Pray tell, where would these bandits live, where they would not be attacked by wolves, hounds, the dead, other things? Bandits? No, I don't know. It's probably something horrible. Perhaps they've fallen prey to dire wolves, maybe the wild men of the West.
But why would they attack a winery?
I don't know. You'll tell me. All I want to know is what's going on. The vineyard has been left alone for hundreds of years. The Martkovs are quite good at protecting it, but there are a lot of them. They have a lot of friends, it seems.
How far away is the winery then?
He thinks for a moment. Probably half a day on horseback. Follow the Slavic road to the west from here. Signs will point the way.
Alright. Well, at least that's something we could do fairly soon then.
Excellent. I knew I would like you to. Listen to this man, Izek. Listen to how he speaks. You could certainly teach some of the people around here a lesson.
And I think to myself a bit, it's not the best place to be, this. I start to feel a bit anxious. I sort of feel that this is all sorts of pointless, these small, trivial tasks. I wonder if it's by any means connected to what we came here to do, if there is such a thing. But I say nothing.
Indeed, no, he commands Izek to fetch you drink, and he brings it in. He looks at Arena the whole time.
Oh, Izek, stop with your gawping.
Vargas says. After all, you should be very happy. They will be staying. Yes, we will in the morning arrange you can go, young lady, to the church, St. Andrew's. I will send men tonight to tell them to expect you. You will find sanctuary there. It is a holy ground after all.
So, are we on the first floor now?
Yes.
So would the attic be just above us?
The attic, you assume, would be 2 floors above you, as there'd be at least a floor above you before you reach the attic. At least that's how it looked from the outside.
I keep an ear open for anything odd coming from upstairs, any sounds or anything, because I haven't let that go. Though when drinks are being brought in, I light up a bit, I smile, and I go over to see what they brought.
You've been bought some basic glasses of wine. To be honest with you, it's actually rather a small amount of stuff you've been brought. Perhaps he doesn't wish to share that much with you after all. Izek brings it over. He stares at you for a while, Roshek. His eyes are dark, meaningless. He seems to be studying you. You can't really tell, though, what he could be thinking.
I look him in the eyes, and then I look down at his hand, and I ask him, "What happened to your arm?"
He looks at you for a moment, and then flexes his hand, the hand in question. Flexing it towards you, you now see the tendrils coming from it, the skin red, scarred, unnatural. He remarks with a deadpan expression, "A blessing," and turns to leave the room.
Interesting.
You must forgive Izek, he is not much of a conversationalist, but after all, I don't need him for conversation. You understand, Orc, you understand.
I raise the glass, and I nod, and I have a sip.
Very good. And he drinks himself. To our new friends of Wallachia.
I take a polite sip as well, but not wanting to sever my connection with Lathander, with this weak connection that I have, that is all. And I also raise my glass, and I cheer with him.
Indeed, he seems well cheered, and he calls out for a moment.
Where is my wife? Where is she? Lydia, come and meet our guests. Come.
The woman very quickly enters, in her 50s, very smartly dressed, hair tied back in a bun.
Yes, husband. Yes, you have new friends? Yes. This is my wife. Meet my new friends. They are going to be good. They could teach Victor a thing or two. Where is he? Where is my son? Let me guess. Up somewhere upstairs again?
Yes, husband. Yes, he is upstairs. Yes.
Useless boy. Foolish boy.
What is your son doing upstairs?
Who knows? Nonsense. He reads books all day. Keeps his head in the clouds. Not like you two. Getting out there, doing things for the town. Ha! Useless boy, but what can you do?
I shrug and I say, nothing wrong with reading books, though. Question is, what sort of books is reading?
Nonsense books, fairy tales, rubbish.
I laugh a bit at this because it's funny, and then I take a big gulp, almost emptying the glass because it's not big.
You continue your food and drink. Is there anything now that you wish to do yourselves or question?
After a while, after we've had a bit of drink and something to eat, I ask, so this big attack was once led towards the sort of ruler of this land, I heard. But I see that your town has been able to keep well for themselves. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Of course. We are not fools. The people of Barovia were led by a madman. One of you travelers with foolish ideas. We can't just march up to the ruler of these lands and take him by sword. No. The key to fighting him is in defense, you see. Positivity. You've noticed our land is full of misery and woe, yes? The way to fight that is to think good thoughts, to be happy, to be jovial, to have hope in the light. That is how we will escape these lands, you see. He can have no power over us as long as we have faith in ourselves. And that, my friends, is how one day we shall be free of this place, perhaps even return to the world from whence we once came.
Do you mean that you came from another place as well?
Of course we did. All of us did. We didn't think we always lived in a small, little, enclosed area ruled by a horrible monster for all time, did you?
I get thoughtful at this because I sort of felt like that was exactly what I had fallen into. A land where people had been living like this for ages and ages, and now he's saying something else.
The wife just smiles and nods. She doesn't seem a very talkative type, especially with the husband there. He leans back.
I will explain, you see. 500 years ago at least, we were part of the world. We came here from other lands. Barovia didn't even exist yet. It was founded by our forefathers. That was before the time of the devil, when he came and conquered these lands. Then, it's unclear what happened next. Many believe we sinned against the Night Mother, or the Morning Lord as well, and they punished us by creating the monster, the devil. He sealed these lands off. The mists, we cannot go past them, but we know of the rest of the world out there still lying there. And we will return to it one day.
So keep your spirits up, and a strong military, which I seem to have observed around here, and then, pardon me for saying so, but then what? I mean, are you expecting him to try and give up and leave you and...
Oh, yes, of course. He has not touched these lands for years. You see the wolves outside on the gates, all killed. His men cannot reach here. His spies. Oh, they try, and we root them out. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
The Night Mother. I think to myself, is that a reference that I have heard? I mean, the Morning Lord, if that should be a reference to Lathander, what would the Night Mother refer to? Is there a god in the pantheon that would match that description?
Not in your pantheon, no.
I continually look through the room. I'm starting to feel a bit enclosed in here. And I ask, is this your private mansion, or is it something bestowed upon the ruler of the town as he supposedly comes and goes?
Oh, my friend, the Valakoviches have ruled this town for hundreds of years. This is indeed my ancestral home. We are a proud family, descended once from nobility.
It is quite impressive. It would be interesting to have a look around the house, and if you wanted to show us anything else.
The hour is late. I do not see why you need a tour, but perhaps...
He rises up slowly, slapping the breastplate on him.
My wife can show you the parlor. I'm tired now. We will talk again, though, when you have done your tasks. In the meantime, you will go to your inn, and in the morning, I suppose you two can go to the church. I'm glad we have met. You are going to be good for this town. I can feel it. I know it in my heart. And certainly a good symbol of resistance against those who would work for the devil. There are many, unfortunately. We have to root them out regular. People do not have as much faith as you do.
It is important to keep your spirits up.
Yes, and he starts to leave without another word. At this point, the wife looks a bit anxious.
Please, before you go, I will show you. I have some friends over. We are discussing things for the festival. You can come and see that. Yes.
Why, certainly. Yes, we would love that.
I would like to just move a bit. I don't like sitting still too long in these pretensive places.
She leads you out of the room, back into the hallway, and into another door, on the left-hand side this time. You notice Izek is waiting, watching your every move as you move around the mansion. She leads you into a room, which appears to be a dining room. You notice a chandelier of wrought iron fitted with wax candles hanging above a polished wooden dining table. You notice around this table are seated 8 women of various ages in comfortable high-backed chairs. They wear faded clothes and are currently drinking tea and devouring cake. The wife moves in quickly and smiles, serving some more tea to the people. You see? These are my friends, some of the most esteemed ladies of Wallachia, that they are helping for the festival. Everyone is very excited. Aren't we all very excited? 2 or 3 of the women grunt a little, and then 1 or 2 sort of smile at you very awkwardly. They all seem to be paying attention to Izek standing near the door.
Yeah, I suppose it's pretty clear how they feel about this.
What do you do?
I stand about a bit restlessly. I'm not sure what to do in this room or with these women preparing that. I feel very much out of place. But I would like to see the rest of the mansion, and I wonder about her son, what he is up to, what he's reading.
You're in a hallway, as I said. There are other doors. Do you start trying to poke about a little?
I'm not very good at, discreetly poking. What is she doing, Lydia, now?
She's smiling awkwardly before remarking, "Anyway, the hour is late. Perhaps it is time you go and rest. The inn in town, we will all be leaving soon as well." And at this, Izek sort of steps in front of you, Roshek, before motioning to the exit of the house.
I just nod at him. I don't want to stir up a ruckus over something I don't know what it is about, so I start moving to the exit.
Me too. Is Mark and Irina with us as well, or are they remaining behind somewhere?
They've joined you, and Ismark remarks, "Best we go. I do not really wish to remain here anymore. Let us rest and deal with your payment."
Yes, let us do that. And we follow Izek out.
You are led out of the house, the guards forming a formation outside those doors as they close. Izek gives you one final stare, and then closes the double doors behind him. You are back out on the street. It is now very late in the night. Roll me both perception checks.
18.
19.
You both notice then there was someone nearby watching you. A man with a greying beard and a long coat. He notices you looking at him, as you do notice him, and very quickly disappears into an alleyway.
I wonder what that was all about.
Just lots of people here not used to seeing strangers, I think.
I suppose so, and meeting with the Baron, well, I'm sure the Baron has enemies in the city as well. Helping him will help the people here and perhaps bring them joy, perhaps protect them a bit longer. But let us not stand around here on the street, let us head back to the inn.
I shrug and I start moving and I say, well, it doesn't take an ogre to figure out that we're a company that stands out in this place.
You begin to make your way back to the inn. Although, as you go back to the inn, Irina makes a comment. "You think he has the best interests of the town? I wonder then why people are in stockades, and why so many people we've seen seem so miserable. Those women in there, they didn't seem like they were enjoying themselves. Does that not speak of something?"
Well, still, I don't know what anyone could do under these circumstances. We're constantly attacked by dire wolves and stinking pale elves and whatever roams these lands. If people find a way to keep hopes up. I mean, you have to admit it's a bit more lively here than it is in your hometown, no offense.
It is a strange place. Strangely familiar. She shakes her head and moves on. You eventually arrive back at the inn. The hour has drawn later, and there are less patrons about now. Almost none, in fact, save for that half-elf you saw before, and the people at the bar. The innkeeper looks up as you enter, and seems relieved. "My friends, all is well. You had a good..." He pauses. visit with the Baron.
We did indeed, and we would actually like to speak to you. To speak to you about wine. That is not arriving on schedule anymore. We would like to see if there's anything that we can do about this.
I move up next to the half-elf and I want some wine as well. I wait to get some.
The innkeeper, Erwin, you recall his name, Erwin Martikov, quickly gives you some wine. You wish to investigate the wine shortage? Oh, my friend, that is very kind of you, but I wouldn't want you to trouble yourselves. It's only been a day or two late. He paused very precisely there for a moment. I mean, yes, we are just an innkeeper's family. It is hard for us to go on the roads, but, well, yes, we have some concern. It is a day or two late now, the last shipment, and people, well, they need the wine.
It would seem as if the Baron values it highly, though, because he's asked us to go and investigate the whole thing.
He's asked you to go and investigate. I find that funny. He can't spare a few of our own men to go investigate, or rather a few of his men, but he can send strangers. Typical, but I suppose we cannot look a gift horse in the mouth. Tell me, what is it you wish to do here in these lands? You are travelers. You, I imagine, have been explained that you can never leave. Now you're here.
Well, first of all, we're going to slay the devil, and then, I suppose, see what we can pick up from it. Yeah, I think that's our list of things to do, and I gulp down a bit of wine.
That's a very short list, Roshik. Certainly there are other things. We wish to ensure that Irina is safe, and yes, perhaps leave this place without having to slay the devil. That it does seem as if many have tried with little success, although perhaps they didn't have quite the skills that you do, but it is a very risky proposition, isn't it?
They didn't have the skills, and they didn't have the sword. We find the sword, we slay the devil, and that's it.
Owen frowns a little for a moment, and he nods. You have noble goals, my friends, although I do not know if you'll be able to succeed in them, but perhaps. And then his wife sort of steps into the area and shoots him a look of concern. He nods. They both nod together. He remarks, if you are able to assist us in this wine shortage, we would be very grateful indeed. I will tell you where the winery is. It's just outside, follow the old Slavic road. Signpost will lead you there. And hopefully you will find out what's happened. I mean, my father, we don't get on very much these days, but Davian Martikov, he is the owner of the winery. I hope he is safe.
So he would still be out there then? Who else would be there?
I suppose my brother Adrian, Stefana, my sister, they have family and children there. Some of our other associates.
I'm assuming there's this contingency of guardsmen as well.
Oh, a few of us have some ways of defending ourselves, but it's not normally necessary. Everyone in Barovia appreciates the wine, even the devil, funnily enough.
Is that a fact? Do you deliver wine to him?
Hundreds of years ago, I suppose, yes.
And then what?
Well, not so much anymore. The devil doesn't sup too much on wine these days. He has tastes of a different nature. But let us not speak more of this. You should rest. You've had a long and weary night. You rest and get ready for your investigations.
Right, yeah. I drink the last of my cup, and I ask, you wouldn't happen to have a library here, would you?
No, I'm sorry, we do not have much need for books, other than a few book ledgers and that sort of thing.
How about the rest of the town or the lands?
Well, the Baron has his own collection, and you might find some books at the stockyard. The family there, Asarek stockyard. That's about it, I suppose.
Alright.
Just, one final thing. He leans forward. Be careful with the Baron, yes. Do not anger him. You'll find his hospitality is fleeting when you anger him.
And what would anger him, would you say?
Owen frowns a little. I suppose perhaps you don't need to worry about that. You seem to be on his good side. Just, keep maybe your thoughts about how he does things to yourselves for now.
I shrug and I drink.
And watch out for his henchman, Izek. He's a dangerous one.
Yes, he certainly looks to be that. And as he speaks about Izek, I turn to Irina again and I say, Izek, you may not remember it, but he seems to remember you. Perhaps the night will refresh your memory. You must have met at some point, and I have a feeling that it must not have been a particularly pleasant meeting.
Do not see why I would remember him. All I know is the way he looks at me, it's not... I don't like it. I'll be happy to be in this church.
But you do say there's something familiar about this place. Isn't that what you said?
She shrugs. She seems tired. Ismark frowns a little and remarks, I do not see why it's important for now. Her safety is paramount. We'll get her to the church tomorrow, and then I'd rather not, but I will have to ride back. I can't leave my village completely unattended. I need to be responsible.
Yes, of course, Ismark. That is the right thing to do. And we will do our utmost here to ensure that your sister is safe. Well, she does seem to be quite capable herself as well, so surely you have nothing to worry about. Just safe travels, yes, and stay safe on the roads. That is what I will pray for. But let us speak more about that in the morning.
Yes, Ismark and Irina at this point stand, and Ismark leads Irina away to the rooms you seem to have been provided upstairs. As you're going, Roman, that half-elf looks over for a moment. Did you say something about a sword?
Is this just to Roman? Did I leave before?
It's to Roman, but you'd still be in the area.
Yeah, I turn around and I look at Roman, expecting him to speak since he was addressed.
I put my head to that sword? The sword?
Your companion, he said, find the blade, slay the devil. You are aware that most blades will not help you against the ruler of these lands.
I see.
And I stop and I ask, why? Do you have any knowledge of where such a weapon would be?
I do not know what sort of weapon you are referencing, friend. I am simply a traveling carnival man myself. I do not deal in weapons that much.
Carnival man.
Yes, I am a traveler like yourselves. Perhaps you've noticed that I do not sound like everyone else around here.
Well, I can see that you're a bit different as well. So how long have you been here?
A month or two. I've come looking for interesting amusements for my menagerie. I can't say I've had much luck so far, though, but that's fine. I'm a man of leisure after all. I'm not going anywhere soon.
How exactly do you intend to leave?
I have my ways. If you're going to ask, unfortunately, there are ways I cannot just offer to other travelers. I am sorry about that.
Figures.
But you talk of blades. Why do you think you know of a blade that can help you against the Count?
Because it's been told to us by a reliable source, and I have had a vision that there will be such a blade, and I feel confident. I think to myself, because this is weird, I don't know why I'm so confident about this, but I just feel it. I'm confident that this is how things will end up. We're in this strange land, afflicted by plagues and dire wolves and beasts, and that's what it'll take to get out of here.
What is this reliable source of information you have?
I don't know if you're familiar with the Vistani and the famous Madame Ava.
His face twitches a little. Roll me insight, Roman.
19.
He seemed almost amused when Roshek said, "Are you familiar with the Vistani?" He remarks quietly then, "Yes, I am very familiar with the Vistani. I travel. They travel. Madame Eva. What did she tell you? They have the gift of foresight. They can see the future. Well, so is said."
I don't see why this would interest you. She told us a number of things. She showed us in her cards, and she seemed to deem it very important to show us this. We weren't expected to pay for it. I don't see why she wouldn't. What do you want to know?
A change of mood comes over this man, and he shakes his head. "I was merely curious, sir. I have interest in the events that occur in this land. They interest me. I write stories, you see. I am bothering you. I should let you be." He starts to stand. "Good luck with your hunt for a blade. Although there are many blades in this land. Don't know where you're going to start searching if you have no indication of where it might be."
It'll come to us, I'm sure.
We didn't catch your name, friend.
"Rictavio. My name is Rictavio."
Very well, Rictavio. I am Dawnbringer Roman. I wish you luck in your journey, then. Hope you will find something interesting.
"Yes." And he starts to head upstairs. You notice he's heading towards one of the rooms. He fiddles about with a key and then enters, closing the door behind him.
Do we know where our rooms are?
Owen points. You have rooms on the same floor. The way this place is laid out, all the rooms seem to be directly above you. There's a sort of open space area where you can see, from where you are, the rooms, like a balcony type situation going on.
He says he can leave this place, just like the Vistani, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder what gives them that power. I wonder if it's something that we could perhaps attain somehow. I don't know. I suppose I'm tired. We have done things today, though. We have achieved things, and we know what to do next, and hopefully this will lead us one step closer, and, well, at least there's hopefully wine waiting at the end of this road, so I suppose that's something.
I don't know. He seems like a slippery bastard. I don't think we should, trust him too much. If he's just one of those, people who are able to leave this place, I don't think it lies within our power to learn it. We're just different sorts.
I suppose we are, Roshek, I suppose we are. And I start moving towards my room then.
You both go upstairs and enter the room. You have been given one for the pair of you. Irina and Ismark in another room. The inn does seem to have a good sizable amount of rooms. You notice just before going to bed those two children from earlier running about outside. It seems like they sleep up here as well. And you all retire to bed. As you close the door to your room, Roshek, you just notice again, still, ravens in the rafters of this place. Many of them, watching you, not in a hostile way, merely in a curious way. They're all above, quite a few of them hanging about the rafters and roofs of this space.
I say, good night.
They caw a little.
And I close the door and I go in. Wash myself in the wash jar and what we have before going to bed.
And you all have a long rest. Roman, you sleep. You dream. A different dream tonight. You see ravens and that blue sign outside. You remember thinking it was a coincidence. No, it is not a coincidence. There is something important. You remember the words of the card. A nest of ravens, a blue sign. They will not just hand it over. They hide from all you see. Those words seem to repeat as you see the face of Madame Eva in your dreams. And then, behind her, a figure. Is it a woman? She seems to be bathed in light. The holy light of lavender. That's what it must be. And you see a building, an abbey, high up somewhere. She seems to be pointing to it. And then darkness swirls over the dream, and you are covered in night and fear and the sounds of fire and screaming. Roshek. You sleep well. You feel confident. You hear a voice, the voice you've heard before. It says the same words. Find the blade. Your path is true. This is the right thing to do. And sleep descends upon you. And you both sleep through the night, not noticing the sounds far away from the village of wolves howling and other things screeching in the night.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Curse of Strahd for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Curse of Strahd was designed by Christopher Perkins and based on the adventure Ravenloft, written by Tracy and Laura Hickman in 1983. Dungeons & Dragons is published by Wizards of the Coast. The music is created by Metatron Omega, Flowers for Body Snatchers and Word Clock, and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more tasty dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a huge thank you to our growing base of supporters. You are truly amazing and inspire us so much to keep going with the show. If you haven't yet found us on Patreon, please have a look at the links in the description and see if you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work with the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters have access to extra material such as our bonus Q&A podcast Ask for the Moon, where we discuss all topics and questions our Patreons have for us. You can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thank you for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.